Hello, Flosstube. Apparently I spouted a British accent there for a sec. It is I, Sadie, and if you just watched my knitting podcast, welcome back. I have run around frantically and gotten everything I needed to get done in between done, and now... Sorry, I should have adjusted this beforehand. I'm just going to knot it so it stays where I want it to stay, to keep my neck a little bit warmer. I don't have a lot of progress this week, so what I will be doing is showing you my progress. Sorry, had to adjust the lip ring. I hate when it's on the inside. I will be showing you some progress. I will be doing a tag. Before we get started, I have a happy purring little baby to show you. I have 3 cats and a dog, and as you can see, I have fur everywhere. Oh, my baby. Her eyes are kind of runny because of the weather. Her allergies are kicking up. I showed you my pee. As you can see, my pee is here. There's my bop. And this lovely lady, who's going to get really mad now, even though she's purring. This is Beetle, or the littlest one, or Bug. Say hi, Bug. She's like, screw that. She is purring though. Little feet tufts. She is a ragdoll. I got her from the Regina Humane Society. 18, no. Petrie's turning 20 this year, so she's turning 19 years ago. I got her from the Humane Society. Someone left her in a box out front, which is very dangerous in Saskatchewan in the weather. And I took her home, and she is mine. She's my middle cat. As you can, she's not easy to make do anything because she's so timid and docile, and this is basically what she does. And she purrs into my face. Every now and then she'll mew. She has a little spot on her nose. Come here, Bug. She is huge. I am supporting her butt. Okay, we go down. She has bad hips now, which I know she should lose. We should make her lose some weight to get for the hip problem, but I can't justify. There is very much a food hierarchy in this house, which is Petrie gets whatever Petrie wants whenever she wants it because she's 20, she has diabetes, and I don't want to have to put her back on insulin. Oh, and this is just a cheap ring, if you're wondering. I got it at, like, Torrid. It's got skulls on the sides, and it's got fake opal, I want to say. I don't know. It's a fake jewel of some kind, but Petrie gets fed whenever she wants, and to keep the girls from eating her food, they also get fed pretty much whenever they want. There is my baby, Frank, who I haven't shown you. I will show you her next time. She has a sensitive stomach. Beetle, of course, being a ragdoll and long hair, is prone to hairballs. So they are on specially formulated foods. They do get a lot of specially formulated wet foods because they're old and because they aren't jumping as much. They don't move around enough to make their bodies move enough, and they have a hard time with bowel movements, which I'm sure you all wanted to hear about. So lots of wet food to help keep that moving. She's sitting here purring. She's like, "You're petting me? I am so happy. I will sit here forever." Usually they're not allowed in here. Like, we shut the door when I'm not in here because I want to keep the yarn and the cross stitch free from fur, and any yarn I sell, of course, goes up over here. So the cats and the dog are not anywhere near it, so that in case anyone has allergies. Although I do warn everybody, it's a very pet-friendly household here. I don't even get to sleep on my pillow anymore. Half of it's Frank's, the other half is Petrie's. I get like the sliver in the middle. And I'm sure that's what you came for. I know, she's so cute when she's purring all nice and purry. I know. So, progress. What do I have to here? I gotta flip this over. Yeah, I don't have a lot to show you. I will when I get back. Now, just a heads up, there will be no podcast next week. I will be visiting my mama, scoring some big stash, so there will be a total haul, I am guessing, on the following one. So if you don't like haul, whatever. If you do like haul, then you'll be excited. Plus, I will probably have more work to show you. I got a fair bit of work done on Stevie. Here she is. She's on 28 count gingerbread Lugana by Picture This Plus. Now, it may or may not look like a lot of work to you, but there are portions of the skin where I had to rip it out and redo it because it was one over. I had a complete brain fart. It was total brain problems. And so I had to unpick a fair bit, but I got a lot of skin done. A lot of skin done. More hair. I think I'm going to do the top part and then move down. Like, I'm going to get her whole done up here and then move my way down. I know Jessica Henderson, who is also a floss tuber. She's got 2 floss tubes up. She's doing the bottom and moving up, and I really like it. I'm kind of jealous because colors are so bright down there and I'm on skin, and skin is so boring. But there you have it. The other thing that got work, I did not work at all on the Let's Go on an Adventure. I was just... If I was going to take out my... If I was going to use my iPad to do anything, it was going to be to knit and not to cross stitch, and I didn't print out the pattern yet, and it's just... The colors... I don't know, I was like, oh, look, it's Holland, and it didn't do anything for me, so I haven't done it yet. I will finish it by March, probably when I get back. Blah, 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 blah. Maybe something will, like, invigorate me to that, but right now it's kind of like, oh. I don't regret getting it. But I kind of do. And so here is my Heaven and Earth, which did get some work. This is by Carrie Hawks. It is the Quick Stitch Bubble Fairy Cat Face. I'm calling her Whimsy. Whimsy, as you may recall. Yeah, that's right, I made myself bleed. I'm great. So I did get some work done. As you can see, I've got a lot of the wing filled in here. I got a lot of the odds and ends up here done. So there are several completed blocks. Pretty much up until that speck, it's all filled in. And then down to about, well, it's down to about here and then over. Either way, I got a fair bit filled in. And I got started on the wing. Right here. Very exciting. Very exciting. I know. There is some confetti I'm getting into, and that kind of annoys me. But it's not too bad. It's not too bad. There aren't half as many colors as the Harumph, so I'm not even going to try and complain. The little one-offs, they do kind of bug me. But after watching Emily of the Eclectic Possessions, I believe it's Emily of Eclectic Possessions, I believe is Emily, talk about how if there's just 1 or 2, she doesn't really care and she fills in with whatever. I'm probably going to end up doing that just because I am sick and tired of one stitch for like a page. It's not happening. But I love it. I may need to buy another one when this one is done because like there's a whole series of them and I need them in my life because they make me happy and they make me smile. And while I completely appreciate and, you know, find the Mirabilias and the Prairie Schooler and all of that, I love them. And the Mill Hill. I want to start another Mill Hill. I want to start all the things. This is the problem. I want to do all the things, and I only have so much time. I'm still figuring out how to dye the silk because it's a single strand. It's not multiple plies. Like, it's not 6 plies. That would be easy to do. So I'm going to have to wind it off. And once I dye it, I'll probably give some away because that's what I do. Okay, so those are my 2 works in progress. I'm sorry, Bug, but my lap is only so big. So those are my 2 works in progress. Those are the works in progresses I have worked on this week. I did like an entire day on the Mirabilia. I'm not even going to lie to you. There was an entire day. And usually it's like maybe an hour a night or 2 hours here, 2 hours there. When I can. But I gave a whole day, I believe it was all day Sunday, to the Mirabilia. So I feel like I really... Here, I'll put you down. Okay, here you go. There you go. I feel like I really got very far on that, even though it doesn't look like it, because I kept having to rip out and redo what I had just done, which... So, got the Mirabilia done. Worked on that. I know I've had 2 or 3 nights with Whimsy. There was a power outage. Not today. Yesterday, I want to say. There are a lot of power outages in my area because I live on the island. Or on the peninsula, if you will. I mean, it's not an island, it's a peninsula. I think the island is probably where the Hood Canal is. And we're just down from that. But I'm not sure if you would get... We're on the peninsula, we'll go with that. But there have been a lot of power outages. Because, of course, there's been a lot of storms, lots of high winds. And there are a lot of trees. Now, see, in Saskatchewan, the wind would mean anything. Like, there's not enough wind that I would even go, oh, look, it's windy. Because I am used to being on the prairies of Canada, where the wind will rip the siding off of a house, and you don't really... Then it's really windy. But before that, it's kind of like, oh yeah, there's a little wind. But here, if there's even like half of that, the trees start falling. And that is where the problems come in, because then your power lines are going down. Driving home, so I get off a highway or a whatever. I get off a freeway, main way, turn into a rural area, and then I do another turn. But before I do my second turn, right now, there is a tree bowing the power line. Like, the power line is almost touching the ground because the tree is leaning on it that bad, because it broke off at the base. I really hope they take care of that soon. But that happens quite frequently in this area. So, but it means that there will be no stitching when the sun's gone at like 5 or 6, and I have no electricity. You know, I'm using my camping light. It's just not going to happen. I can knit stockinette when that happens, and that's usually what I do. Or I read on my iPad or my Kindle. You know, I do what I can, but stitching is not happening during those time periods, so... And no one's going to fault me for that. So I did bring up... I brought up a tag. Again, I am using the Terisha, the Left-Handed Stitcher's Realm of Randomness tags that she's compiled. I'm going to do the end of the year 2015 tag, which everyone did a little while ago. There's a new tag, and I was going to do it, but it's not on the thing, and I'm not going to write them all down, because that takes time away from everything else I do. I could be stitching. I'm not going to write them down. It's like the but really, though, or no, really, or something like that. But this one is the end of 2015 one. And so now I'm going to do it. If you don't like tags, you can bugger off now. If you do like tags, stick around. You can get to know me more. Okay, what is the most useful tip you've ever got from watching the Flosstube community? That's simple. Loop starts. I didn't know they were a thing. What is the best cross-stitching related thing you have learnt this year? Can I say loop starts again? Loop starts have really revolutionized my world. Like, I cannot stress how wonderful loop starts are. What are your favorite Flosstube videos to watch? Update, haul, stash, tag, tutorial, and just watching someone stitch. You know what? I like them all. I like the updates. I like the hauls. I like the stash. Isn't haul and stash the same thing? I guess haul is when you bring in new stuff, and stash is stuff that pre-exists. So, I don't know. Tags. I like tags. I like knowing more. I have a degree in anthropology, sociocultural anthropology, not physical anthropology, which would be different. So I like people watching, I like studying cultures, and I think that stitching is its own culture. It has its own norms, values, and mores. So similar to the knitting community, which is also its own subgenre culture, I just like watching how people interact in cultures and the differences or the similarities between people. So I like watching it all, really. There's very little that I don't like watching. Tutorials are nice. I don't watch a lot of those. I don't watch a lot of people stitching. I do watch Lizardly, who exclusively does videos of her stitching. I like having that on in the background while I'm doing stuff, and I can watch intermittently. Based on this year's cross-stitching, what now is your most used tool object, and what now is your least used tool and object? Least used tool or object, hoops. Hoops. Down with hoops for me. I'm not a fan anymore. My most used, honestly, is probably the Q-snap or the needle minder. The Q-snap I had previously, itchy. But needle minders are really something I picked up from watching Flosstube. So based off that, I would say needle minders, which are an addiction. And I keep telling myself not to get more, because the more I have, the more projects I'll get. And I get stressed out if I have too many projects knitting, so I can just imagine what it would be like if they were cross-stitch. Random question, what did you do before needle minders? Before needle minders? The same thing I do now when I don't have enough needle minders. Here you go. I stick it through the corners. I stick them through the corners, either the edge of the piece, or a corner on the Q-snap or something. I really don't care if it hurts the fabric, whatever. I still do it. I still do it because I don't have enough needle minders, and I don't want to get more, because then, yeah, I will get more. Let me just say, I will get more. I'm just justifying why I'm not doing it right this second. Based on your experiences in 2015, do you now prefer small projects or big projects, full coverage or not? Well, I'm doing my first full coverage projects with the Whimsy and with Harumph. So far they're going good. I enjoy them. I do not like confetti. I friggin' hate confetti. That is probably what's stalling me out on my owl. I like little projects because then I get them done and I like a good finish, but I'm also very into process, so I don't mind bigger. What I have noticed, or my experiences, is that I don't like a lot of little fiddly things. Frosted Pumpkin does that a lot, as does Clouds Factory, and I have to really like the pattern to want to do that, and I don't like doing it very often. Whereas I love solid one color things, or things where I can use one color and like use a variegated thread. I'm there twice. Do you stitch cards as well as other things? Well, this year I started doing ornaments and mounting them kind of like cards. I don't stitch cards because I think they're too transient, I guess. I don't keep my cards. I don't keep all of my cards unless they have impertinent information in them, or if there's a pretty picture that I want to frame or something. So I honestly don't feel that anyone would keep a card. So I don't stitch cards because why? But I will stitch ornaments and little minis to give to people now, which is, I suppose, new. What's your biggest accomplishment this year? Working on smaller fabric. I have never stitched on anything less than a 14 count Aida up until this last year. I wouldn't even think about it. Like, seriously, linen gave me hives, and now it's like I probably can do linen. I do like the 28 count even weave, I'm not gonna lie, that's what I like. But I had never done anything outside of a 14 count linen, so I feel it's an accomplishment just even to be doing the Mirabilia on the 28 count Lugana. I feel like I'm getting somewhere, or like I'm growing as a stitcher. What has been the most disappointing stitching thing of 2015? I don't know that I had a disappointment in 2015. Can I say that the Pumpkin Passport this year is a disappointment? It'll be my 2016 disappointment. I have got to stop joining them until I see them. I get swept up with the crowd and I'm like, yes, I must. And then I start it and I'm like, what the hell is this? I do like the Once Upon a Time sampler. I will finish it. But the Let's Go on an Adventure, I'll finish it out of spite now. It's like when I read a book and I get like 200 pages in and I know that it's just utter tripe and I cannot, like, I don't want to finish it, but I'm not letting the book win, so I will seriously just power through the rest of the book because I don't want the book to win. I did that with Vanity Fair. I hated Vanity Fair by Thackeray. I'm sorry if you like it. I took many English classes. I've read many, many books like that, but it is this giant tome that I just could not. I wanted to burn it when I was finished because I disliked it that much. And I suppose it's a mark of a good book that it can make you hate it that much. But Castle of Otranto, Mysteries of Udolpho, big tomb of books that I had to read in short periods of time. Loved those. Vanity Fair, hated. So I hate finished it. And I will hate finish cross-stitch projects just to get them done and give them away. What is your funniest moment in stitching this year? I don't know that I had a funny moment. I'm just a funny person. You can probably laugh at me most of the time anyway. I do. I laugh at myself all the time, so we should all be laughing. What was your worst moment in stitching this year? I don't think I had one. Maybe it would be discovering that my bat was off center by one stitch, and that really bugs me, which is why I haven't stitched anymore on it. And I probably will pick it up and finish it, but just let me tell you, I'm not going back. It's all going to be off by one stitch, and I'll be fine with that, and I will fudge it so it works. And the other side will not be a mirror image, and it's not going to bug me because I can't go back and find where that one stitch is gone. So that's probably my worst moment. If you were put on a desert island and had 5 stitchy things, what 5 stitchy things would be your must-have items? So I'm only allowed to take stitchy things, really? Because, I mean, I'd need knitting, I'd need, medication, I'd need my iPod, or some sort of charging device. Like, my God, some solar charging device, because I'd be on an island, and I doubt they have... Am I going to worry about 5 stitchy things? No! I need my music, my books, I guess my knitting. Maybe I'd take something to cross stitch, but really, medication. Yeah, no, sorry. What 4 floss tubers would you like to have on your island and why? Well, I'd like to have everybody so that I could have a commune and, they could probably bring stitchy things and then lend them to me because, I'd probably end up working with Canvas and Red Heart, which is a humor very few of you will get. But if you get it, good. I'd like to take everybody. Ultimately, what 4 would I take? I think I know maybe 4, so I could do that. Well, the evergreen needle would have to be there because she would know what to do. I get the feeling she would know what to do. And Tracy P., because then someone can share in the insanity. Fiber Artsy, because then someone would have like sanity to add. So a bunch of women, and then we'd probably need a man in case we wanted to repopulate. But I don't know that. Are there straight cross stitchers that I know? I know the turbo knitter. Of course, we could always, there's ways to inseminate without actually needing to procreate. So I don't know. Then a male stitcher, maybe turbo knitter, coffee stitcher, whatever. I don't know. Can I just bring everybody? Why am I stranded on a desert island? Do you know me? Okay? I'm not going to be stranded on a desert island. I'm not. You know why? I would have to leave my house. And I don't go, okay, yeah, I would leave my house. But, I'm not flying anywhere that I get stranded on a desert island. And if it is a desert island, it's going to be New Zealand or Australia where there are people and stitching stores. So, no. I'm not going to be stranded there. And if I take 4 people, I'm going to take a guy and a bunch of chicks who are going to make me feel better about losing my mind. That is that. I have problems with the last two questions. And that is all I have to report for Flosstube. Seriously? Should I just do that? No, I'm fine. Okay. Okay, that is all I have for Flosstube. There will be no Flosstube next week. I will be in Canada. There will be a Flosstube the following week where I will be back, and I will probably have some haul to show you. Yay! So until then, please like, subscribe, share, comment in the boobity boo. And I try to respond to all my comments. It takes me a while nowadays, but I will get there. And I will see you in 2 weeks. Bye.